subjective, but how exactly we can be good, especially in communicating. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to our beloved audience for having us again in another episode of our weekly talk show, Positive Vibes. Live up to the name. We are from Positive Vibes indeed, and great pleasure when all of us radiate good things together. Welcome back. You're with the host of the day. I'm Wonderliana, and be ready to assist all the good contents for you today. So actually, we got a lot of requests from you guys since few past weeks regarding on some hot topics in the workplace settings. Don't worry, we got your back. With the given title today, Workplace Etiquettes, How to Be Good in Communication. We are going to have a lot of fun discussing on this topic with our great panelists that we are having in our studio today. First, I'm going to introduce to you our great lady with a lot of experience throughout her career, the Human Resource Manager from Angkasa Sindian Berhad, Miss Priya Chandiran. Good morning, Miss Priya.
Good morning, Layana. I am Priya Chandran from Human Resource Manager from Angkasa Sendirian Berhad. I'm very glad to be a part of your talk show today.
Oh, I love your vibe, Miss Priya. Okay, so as much as I'm nervous to introduce our first panel, please welcome our Miss Shaira Sukri, a dedicated manager at Talk A Lot Academy. I heard that you have been awarded as Employee of the Month, Miss Shaira. Congratulations! And how are you today?
Thank you, Miss Liana. Hello, everyone. I'm Shaira. I'm a junior manager at Talkshow Academy. Well, I'm good, and thank you for inviting me today.
You're welcome, and great to hear that from you, Ms. Shaira. And next, our third guest for today. I'm very proud to announce that Positive Vibes managed to recruit her as our third panel today. The inspiration for lots of people. I introduce to you Miss Maishara Zulkifli, and hello, Miss.
Hello, Ms. Diana and everyone. My name is Maishara and currently working as communication trainer. I'm so glad to be invited today.
You look so stunning, Miss Meshara. As of course, big thanks to our panelists for joining Positive Vibes today. So, along with them on board, we are going to talk a lot about the etiquettes on how to communicate well in the workplace. Let's go. Okay, first we are going to ask Miss Shaira. So, from your point of view, Miss Shaira, what is the most basic and important skills in communication etiquettes?
Okay, thank you, Miss Liana. As we talk about workplace setting etiquette, the most basic and important skills needed are communication etiquette. Communication is essential in the workplace because communication cultivates teamwork amongst their colleagues. So basically, we can say that communication etiquettes are the result of three factors. The first factor is why. Why is the goal of our communications, what we want to achieve. And second factor is what. What is the content of our message? What we want to say to the other person. And the last factor is how. It is the way we deliver the message or how we say it. If we fulfill these factors, we are able to conduct effective communication. And in workplace setting, there are two types of communication etiquette, which is verbal and non-verbal communication. Let me briefly explain what verbal and non-verbal communication. Workplace verbal etiquette refers to the use of appropriate and effective verbal communication in a professional setting, while nonverbal communication etiquette refers to the appropriate use and interpretation of nonverbal cues such as body language, gestures, and also facial expressions.
Oh, I see. Great information there, Miss Shaira. Now that makes me curious on how communication works through the phone. And so, for phone etiquette, it does plays a vital role in maintaining professionalism and effective communication in the workplace. So, I would like to ask Ms. Maishara, could you shed some light on why phone etiquette also crucial in communication?
Absolutely. Phone etiquette sets the tone for how we engage with clients, colleagues, and stakeholders. It is just as important as face-to-face interactions. Building relationship with customers should always come first, and there should never be a poor customer service. Every interaction will shape how the public views your business and help or hurt your brand. So all of us must have known the negative impact of people complaining about your brand service and make it viral. It just won't do you any good. So like Benjamin Franklin said, it takes many good deeds to build a good reputation and only bad one to lose it.
Okay, good input there. Thank you, Miss Maishara. So it does trigger my curiosity on how about email etiquette, right? So email etiquette also has been a very core for corporate professionalism and mastering communication skills. So I would like to ask Miss Priya, could you explain why the email etiquette is also vital?
Thank you, Ms. Liana, for the question. Certainly agree with what you have said. Email etiquette plays a very crucial role in maintaining professionalism and effective communication in the workplace. Email is a primary form of communication in the workplace, and proper email etiquette ensures the messages are clear, concise, and professional. It promotes efficient communication and reduces misunderstandings and helps to maintain a positive image for both individuals and the organization. It helps recipients to prioritize and understand the real purpose of this message.
Thank you, Miss Priya, for your input before. So we are moving to Miss Shaira. At the tip of your sharing before, you did mention about nonverbal communication and verbal communication. So would you mind to elaborate more on that, Miss Shaira?
Okay, thank you for the question. Some important points that need to be considered for verbal etiquette are respectful and professional language. Use respectful, courteous, and professional language when interacting with colleagues, superiors, and subordinates. Avoid offensive language or slang that could be perceived as disrespectful or discriminatory. You should maintain a professional demeanor and all verbal interaction. Next, clear and concise communication, also part of verbal communication etiquette. You should be clear and concise in your communication to ensure that your message is easily understood.
Yes.
And please use specific and relevant information and avoid unnecessary jargon or technical terms that may confuse others. You want people to listen, right?
Yes, of course.
So be clear and concise when communicating. As for nonverbal communication etiquette, one of key points that need to be considered is body language and facial expressions. Um, it is important to pay attention to your body language as it can convey a lot of information. Maintain good posture, avoid slouching or crossing your arms, and most importantly, make eye contact when you communicate with others. This shows attentiveness and engagement in your conversations. Smile when appropriate and show active listening to nodding and and also avoid excessive or distracting movements and expressions that may take away from your message. Okay, next, the most common yet important etiquette is dress code. Dress dress appropriately according to your workplace dress code. This is because your clothing choices can convey professionalism and respect for the work environment. Believe it or not, people do judge you based on your appearance. So please be mindful about your clothing when you are in professional settings.
Oh, about the dress code, yeah. I think all of us are doing good for our talk show today. Okay, back to our discussion with Miss Maishara. So, what are some essential phone etiquette tips that employees should keep in their mind in communication at the workplace?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Liana. Um, Firstly, Practice active listening and focus on the caller's needs and inquiries. Think about your most recent calls with your mother or siblings. Did you really listen to what they had to say? Or were you multitasking by watching TV, making dinner, or even doing your nails? Okay, so you are not permitted to multitask while speaking with a customer. The client deserves your full attention. Not to mention, you need to pay attention if you want to comprehend the problem and the customer wants you to solve it. Secondly, use a professional tone and language throughout the conversation to help maintain a respectful and courteous interaction. So, I give you an example. If you receive a phone call, it is essential to answer promptly and greet the caller with a polite and professional tone. Okay. So you can say, for example, "Good morning, Miss. My Shara is speaking. How may I assist you?" Okay. Next, remember to speak clearly, articulate your words, and avoid using slang, jargon, or any offensive language that will make your client uncomfortable. Okay. Furthermore, if you're unable to address the caller's query directly, so you can politely ask for permission to place them on hold or transfer the call to a more appropriate person or department. You can inform them of the reason for the transfer and ensure a smooth transition. When you are ending the call, thank the caller for contacting. Sorry. When you're ending the call, thank the caller for contacting you and offer assistance if they had any required. When ending the call, thank the caller for contacting you and offer assistance if they require any further help. For example, thank you for calling. Feel free to reach out if you have any more questions or concerns. So, this skill that I said just now is very important to be trained in an organization since workers usually make mistakes during phone calls. So, one of the mistakes I have observed is employees not identifying themselves and their organization when answering calls. This lack of clarity can confuse callers and create a negative experience. Another mistake is not being attentive or engaged during the call, which can make the caller feel unimportant. Also, transferring calls without providing any context or blindly placing callers on hold without their consent are common missteps. So these errors can negatively impact the caller's experience and perception of the organization.
Okay, thank you for the great input, Ms. Nashara. So next, Ms. Priya, as an human resource professional, what are some common mistakes from the employees that you have been observed in their email etiquette within the workplace?
That's a very good question. Thanks for asking that, Miss Lana. One common mistake is not paying attention at all, especially in tones and languages that are used in emails. Being a respectful and professional in written communication, it's very crucial to explain that. Another mistake would be like not proofreading the emails for grammars, spelling, and also for formatting errors. This lack of attention to details can create a negative impression for the viewer. Additionally, employees sometimes fail to respond to the emails in a timely manner, which can create ineffective of communication and cause frustration. And to foster a good culture of email etiquette, organization can start providing trainings on email etiquette as a part of onboarding process and ongoing professional development. They should also establish clear guidelines or policies for email communication, including response times and expectation. Encouraging open communication and providing feedback to employees about their email etiquette can help them to improve their skills further. Additionally, leading by example and promoting a respectful and professional email culture from the top down is very crucial.
As I For that tips, I greatly take that into the account, Miss Priya. Thanks for that. And yes, professional email always been crucial in communicating at the workplace. So as we move to the end of our talk show today, I would like to ask for final tips from our panelists for our viewers to enhance their communication etiquette skills. So first, would you mind to share about it?
As for me, practicing proper communication etiquette in the workplace is essential for fostering a positive and productive environment. By practicing this verbal and non-verbal communication etiquette, um, individuals can establish respectful and also effective interactions with their colleagues, superior, and also subordinates. Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shaira. Next, I would like to ask any tips from Ms. Mashara.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Ms. Lena. Communicating with manners in phone always show your professionalism. Trust me, it makes the customers believe that their work is in good and safe hands. Most likely, they will repeat the deal or giving good reviews to their friends. So remember to always be courteous and patient when communicating with the clients or colleagues. Use active listening techniques and be mindful of your tone and pace of speech. Also, follow up on any commitments made during the call promptly. These tips will definitely help you build strong professional relationships over the phone. I think that is all for me. Good luck, everyone.
Okay, what about Ms. Priya?
Absolutely. Firstly, be mindful of the recipient's time and keep the emails concise to the point. Use paragraph and also bullet points to structure the content for easy readability. Secondly, avoid using email for sensitive or emotional charged discussions. In such cases, it's better to have a face-to-face conversation or other more appropriate communication channels.
Yes.
Lastly, remember to double check the recipients and the attachments before hitting the send button to avoid any unnecessary errors or oversights.
Yes, thank you, Miss Priya, for the great tips. And of course, thanks to Miss Shaira and Miss Mashara also for a lot of sharing that we can take notes from each point that had been discussed with our panelists today. To sum up from our talk today, I could say that we just figure out how to be good in nonverbal and verbal communication, right? And how to make good use of phone, emails, in communication, yeah, at the workplace. So I'm a little bit sad to say that we just end our talk show today. I hope our positive vibes viewers also are enjoying our discussion as much as me and our panelists in our studio today. I would like to thank again Miss Shaira, Miss Banshara, and Miss Priya for spending your precious time with positive vibes today. And to our audience, please come back again for the next episode. That is all for now, and have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Come again.